Japan is one of the most earthquake-vulnerable countries in the world. In 2011, an earthquake with a magnitude of 9.0 hit the Pacific coast of Tohoku, and the results were heartbreaking. One of the saddest things about tsunamis is the destruction that it leaves in its wake. There were over 15,000 deaths reported after the tragedy, and more than 100,000 buildings were collapsed. Property and life of biblical proportions were destroyed, and within this list, we are showing 5 things found after Japanese tsunami. Ready? Well, let's begin. Number 5. Japanese ghost ship. After the Japanese earthquake, it was estimated that over 22 million tons of debris were washed away into the sea. Included in this statistic is an old fishing ship that had come to be known as the Japanese ghost ship. It was discovered some 120 miles off the Canadian coast, and the owner indeed confirmed that it was from Japan. What astounds many people is the fact that after all the chaos and a year later, the ship is still intact and remains afloat. It is of course beat up, but it still remains intact despite all the happenings. A lot of people cannot explain how and why it did not sink at the least. Number 4. Harley-Davidson. A Harley-Davidson was discovered on the Canadian coast 1 year after the tsunami hit Japan. The owner of the bike, Ikuyo Yokoyama, was also found thanks to the license plate number on the bike, which was still cleared despite the rust and unforgiving ocean currents. Peter Mark, a Canadian, discovered the bike in a container at the beach together with other items and went on to take photos of it. He then left them there. He later went back to take the bike, but discovered that the container had been washed away. Ikuyo was more than excited at the discovery and wanted to thank the man who found the bike, although he lost the bike together with other family members during the tragedy. Number 3. Survivor Hiromitsu Shinkawa. Hiromitsu Shinkawa is a lucky man today. 2 days after the deadly tsunami hit Japan, the 60-year-old was discovered at sea, clinging to the broken roof of his own home. The hasty decision that saw him go back into the house to collect a few belongings was what he says he regrets. Within minutes of being at the house, he was out in the waters trying to survive and clinging to his own roof. He was rescued by the maritime officials who were carrying out rescue operations. A photograph of the old man shows him atop the remains of his roof and waving a flag to the would-be rescuers. Unfortunately, his wife, with whom he was at the house, is still missing. Number 2. Japanese dock. In 2013, a large dock that was apparently washed away during the Japanese tsunami and was discovered in Washington's Olympic coast. The 185-ton dock took officials of the undersea company several days to remove the dock that was filled with foam packing peanuts. This is just one of the 4 docks that had been reported missing from Misawa fishing port in Japan. Locals of Newport, Oregon also reported having seen another dock that resembles the one discovered in Washington. Number 1. Mysterious unknown creature. After the 2011 Japanese tsunami, there was a mysterious animal-like creature that was washed ashore. The footage showing the whale-like creature was recorded and published by a survivor of the tragedy. People have been trying to identify what the animal or object is with very little success. Many of the people who were nearby did not want to risk their lives by moving closer and establishing what the object was. From afar, the object resembles a rock, but on closer look, it looks like the surface of a large whale. And there you have 5 things found after Japanese tsunami. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like and share it. And if you haven't already, subscribe down below to get notified almost every single day with newer videos from Top 5's finest. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, we are out.